our tributes from District 12, Peeta Mellark and Katniss Everdeen. Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Toy Shelf. I'm your host Mitch Live, and I collect action figures. Today we're looking at a couple figures from The Hunger Games by NECA Toys. The Hunger Games is a 4-part movie series, which is based on a book series of the same name, and stars Jennifer Lawrence, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, just to name a few. The story takes place in some alternate reality, where the rich ruling class has succeeded in oppressing the rest of the population by controlling goods, technology, and information, and keeping them separated into 12 or 13 districts. Each year, the capital selects 2 tributes from each district to compete in a battle royale to the death known as the Hunger Games. And they somehow manage to convince people through propaganda that these Hunger Games are necessary to keep peace between the districts. The movie series is all about a rebellion that's rising up to overthrow the capital. Our main character, Katniss, takes on the persona of the Mockingjay, which is sort of like the leader or the symbol of the rebellion. There's relatively very little actual Hunger Games that go on in these 4 movies. So if that's what you were expecting, lower your expectations. And these are, as I mentioned, made by NECA Toys. They do make a few characters from the series, and they make a few alternates of Katniss and Peeta. Damn you, alternate versions! I think there are 3 Peetas and 3 Katnisses. I think they make about 3 of each. But this is probably as many figures as I'll ever own. So this particular Katniss Everdeen is Katniss from the second Hunger Games movie, Catching Fire. You can tell because in that movie, all of the contestants in the Hunger Games are wearing this sort of jumpsuit, this sort of skin-tight, body-conforming jumpsuit. Makes her figure look pretty... Sorry. And Peeta here is from the first movie. Peeta, hey Peeta. And I think they did a pretty good job of depicting J-Law here. None of these guys are particularly posable. Stiff legs, movable arms, which is pretty standard for a NECA toy. The important thing though is that they do stand very sturdily on their own. It's always a good trait in any action figure. Katniss comes with her bow and arrow, which is her weapon of choice. She comes with 3 alternate arrows. And Peeta comes with his spear. This is Sparta! And these figures are around the 7-inch scale. I found them both loose and cheap, and they both had their weapons and accessories, which is pretty rare for a loose figure, so it was a pretty good buy. And I did enjoy many aspects of these films, so, I didn't really mind adding Miss Everdeen and her sort of love interest to the toy collection. And this brings us to the end of another episode, albeit a short one today. Very much unlike the Hunger Games movies, which go on and on and on and on and on. If you haven't seen the Hunger Games and you've got 8.5 hours to kill, it's not the worst way to kill 8.5 hours. And as always, you can purchase your own NECA Hunger Games figures by checking out links in the description below. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for even more content, and check back with us next week for another brand new episode. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Toy Shelf. Happy Hunger Games, you're never too old to play with toys, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Clap. Action. Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Cut!